So I got a brand new XTool D1 and I wanted to make something that was completely laser cut. So I thought it'd be really cool to make a trestle in HON30. The only thing I couldn't laser cut was the rails, but every other little piece I was going to use this laser to cut. So here I am cutting some flexible tie strips to put on top of the trestle. You can see the pieces just fall right out of the board. This laser is really strong and it cuts 1/8" wood like a dream. Here are the tie strips. I'm test fitting them on the top of the trestle. See, they bend really, really nicely. I glued them on here just with some carpenter's glue. I was going to hide the extra glue with a little bit of stain. And there we go. All those ties bent perfectly. Really tight radius there. It's going to go through a swamp. So I took a wire brush and I put some grain into the ties. I want to get them a little bit weathered up. I used Vitero stains to stain the ties, everything from aged barnwood all the way up to swamp rot. I usually mix a little pan pastel in and brush on the ties. Here I laser cut all the tie plates, every single one of them, and glued them on one by one. And there's a heck of a lot of tie plates. I stained them with a little dark iron oxide and alcohol. Look at that, tie plate after tie plate after tie plate, one by one by one. I glued those puppies on. And the cool thing was they had little holes in them, so if the glue seeped up out of the holes, it looked like rail spikes. Very cool. Here we go. And then I just clean up the edges a little bit. This is an airbrush needle that I'm using, an old bent airbrush needle. So there you see a little bit of pan pastel iron oxide. Then I actually glued the rail on, and I glued little dabs of carpenter's glue over the edge of the flange of the rail to hold it down. And I just kept adding on more and more of that iron oxide, pan pastel, and a little bit of alcohol. See right there, I weathered it up with some Vitero stained green, some ivy green with some swamp rot. I want to put some deck boards on there, so I glued some deck boards down and started weathering those up. A little bit, started weathering those up with some raw umber, pan pastel, and different Vitero stains. And then I took some laser cut cardboard, glued that on, and some corrugated metal. Put some rust colors on those, made it look like old junk, like an old sluiceway or little side dump where they dump old pieces off the side of the trestle. I think it came out really neat. Everything here you see was cut on the XTool except the rail. Very cool. I'm so happy I got that XTool. Neat little project.